Howdy, this is Marissa with Marisa-Moments podcast, where I give you my real life stories and their healing translations. So let's just get straight into it. When I was younger, I was pretty quiet, right? And so certain people who grew up around me only know me as being extremely quiet. So after a certain age, when I started to develop my own voice, when I would go around these same people, they would be surprised at how much I spoke. And they'd be like, man, you never said anything before. And that was, one stage. Then there are people that I've never shown my true colors to. They push and they push and they push. They poke and they poke and they poke. And they prod and they prod and they prod. And I've always been just quiet, figuring, you know what? It's not even worth my time or energy. And then there are people who've only known my silly side of things. Always cracking jokes, always entertaining, always doing all these things, right? And each time I would come across someone that's known me for a particular way of being, after I've essentially graduated from that stage, they've been surprised with how I behave. Now, that doesn't happen across the board because, I'm healing while I heal, right? So there are certain times where I revert back and, attempt to change in order to make someone else a little bit more comfortable. Now, it is still a natural state for me to be in because it is a part of me, but it is a past part of me. Now, why am I talking about the way I behave and act and how people perceive me and all those types of things? Well, the translation is this. People are going to remember you for how you were when they met you. They're going to remember you by the way that you just kind of projected yourself as being. They're going to remember you the way that they received you as being, right? And that really has nothing to do with who you actually are. Now, know, trust, and believe that at any point in this proverbial game called life, we all have the capabilities of changing. We all have the abilities to wake up every single day, or even in any moment of the day, deciding to change the way we are. Because sometimes the pain is just so great that we recognize that, you know what, this hurts too much, so I need to change. Or this hasn't got me where I want to go, so I need to change. Or this isn't even truly who I am, so I need to not change, but strip away the programming and become who I really am, right? And either any of those scenarios can bring you to a place where people don't recognize you. And Spirit is here to say that it's okay for people not to recognize you. You don't need to be recognizable to be respected. And you don't need to form yourself to fit into anyone's proverbial box in order to make them feel more comfortable. So you don't feel like being silly. So you don't feel like being a pushover. So you don't feel like doing any of these things anymore. Well, you don't have to. Any given day offers a beautiful blessing known as opportunity to grow, elevate, change, and remember your divinity. It's up to us to decide whether or not we're going to take it. So the next time you're tempted to become who you were in the past just to make someone else feel comfy and cozy, do the equivalent of ripping the blanket off of them, because shock is where it's at. And you're not doing it just to shock, just to spite. You're doing it because that's who you truly are. And everyone else around you just has to learn to love it or walk away. Either way, you're going to be fine because you remember who you are. And that's it. So if this message resonates, then that means it's for you. And if not, that's cool too. Just keep it pushing. Either way, I thank you for listening and I wish you the best day ever. Until next time, you know the vibes. Peace. Oh, and don't forget to check me out on all of social media. It's Marisa Moments with one S, because there is only one me. And if spirit moves you, feel free to donate. Contribute to the cause of the mass awakening. I have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all of those things. Links will be added to the description. But until next time, keep on healing. You've got this.